Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves. So today I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the 10 plants that you didn't know you needed. Of course, no one needs to go out and buy any of these plants, but I just wanted to share 10 plants that I think are super special and that are a definite staple in my collection. So if you are looking to purchase some plants, maybe these are some to put on your wish list. So I'm not gonna ramble on forever, I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna start off with the first plant. This is in no order, by the way. So as you guys know, I have been loving the Maranta family. I'm trying to complete the entire collection. So if you do not have the Maranta, Leucanora, Erythronura, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is the lemon lime. You should go out and get this plant. I mean, again, you don't have to. Like, for real. I really love this plant because they're typically priced really well and they give you so much love for that price. I know there are so many expensive plants out there that you can just stare at them all day and you're just waiting for them to grow and nothing happens. Where this one, I swear it puts out a new leaf at least every week. And the foliage on this plant is just spectacular. I think what I like so much about the whole prayer plant family is the fact that all of these plants basically look like they've been painted. And before I really got into plants, I had no idea that a plant could look this pretty. The care for these guys is also quite easy. If you have a humidifier, that's great. If you don't, I actually haven't had too many issues with this plant, keeping it in a lower humidity area. So if you don't have a humidifier and you want to try one of the prayer plants, I would go with this one. It's definitely the most tolerant to lower humidity. So the next plant that you didn't know you needed is the Hyatt Nebula light pink corona, I believe. That's fitting. This plant, oh my gosh, I swear to God, this plant is the coolest texture I have ever felt on a plant. If any of you guys have this plant, let me know down below what you think of it, but honestly, it is seriously cool. It's a very stiff leaf, and it's basically like a suede. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. The leaves are super tough, but they have sort of a teddy bear texture, which I really love. This is my favorite plant to feel. And as with most Hoyas, the care for this guy is quite simple. Just let the soil dry out before you water it, and you'll be good. Give it some good sunlight, indirect. Next on the list for my alocasia lovers is the Alocasia Silver Dragon. So this plant has been relatively easy for me to take care of. I honestly haven't paid any attention to it and it's been thriving. Obviously I water it when the soil is close to being dry, which it actually needs to be watered right now. The water consumption of this plant really goes up when it's pushing out a new leaf, and that's happening right now. So I have had to water this a little bit more, but I find that honestly, you don't have to look at this plant more than once a week. As long as you can maintain above 50% humidity, this plant will love you and you won't have any issues. The texture of this leaf is also really cool. It's like a cushiony texture and the veining is super prominent. It also has cool veining on the back. Next up, we have a really fun plant. This is one that I honestly didn't like for the longest time. I was not understanding what the hype was, but when I saw it in person and I saw a decent size one for a decent price, I really fell in love with it. That is the Stromanthe Triostar. So in my plant room slash office, I probably keep the humidity level around 50%. It definitely goes up to 80%, but it typically will stay around 50 to 60, but not below 50. And with this plant and also any of my calathea, I haven't had any browning tips. So if you're capable of maintaining 50% humidity, this plant is going to do really well in your home. It has these beautiful fuchsia reddish undersides And the leaves of the plant also, the tops look really painted and beautiful. The only thing that I would recommend if you do want to have one of these plants is to make sure you water it with filtered water. This plant isn't super quick growing, but I have definitely noticed a few leaves unfurl in the 3-4 weeks that I've had it. So next on the list we have the Sansevieria Whalefin. This is my favorite Sansevieria by far. This one has a kind of scratchy texture, but it's very cool. The other Sansevieria that I had, I did give it away to my boyfriend's mom, but that one has more of a soft and smooth texture, or I wouldn't say soft, but kind of a shiny, smooth texture, where this one has a really nice texture. If you like feeling plants, this is one of those ones you want to feel. I love this plant for its single statement leaf, and if you're into that, this is probably a plant that you're going to want to pick up. I know that they're not as easy to find as some of the other Sansevieria, but if you look around and you're patient, like I was, you will find one. How could you not love this? I know we have a lot of Sansevieria haters out there, but Hody Blow Holy and I are just loving life out here. Next on the list is actually a plant that I've had some trouble with, but I really do believe that that's due to acclimation into my house. I only recently purchased a Levoit humidifier. Before that, I had a humidifier that only put out cool mist, and I had this plant really close to that mist, and I believe that I may have given it too much direct humidity with too much mist falling directly onto the plant, that it kind of melted? I don't know. But this is the Anthurium crystallinum. Although I've had trouble with this plant, since keeping it in a greenhouse situation, I keep it in this little greenhouse behind me, the tiny little thing, and it's doing so well. It's growing like crazy. So if you want an anthurium that is quick growing, this is the one. This plant came with a leaf. It was really small and it kind of crisped off. Again, probably just due to acclimation into my house. But since then, there's already 2 new leaves coming out, and I've only had this plant for about a month and a half. So we have this leaf that I'm honestly not even mad about. This doesn't really bother me. This one is about to unfurl and then it will start to grow. And then there's another one even in the soil there that it's probably a few days behind this one, but I'm really happy with this growth in this plant. So if you're looking for an anthurium that is fast growing, you will love the Anthurium crystallinum. The only thing is you really do have to keep that humidity up, and I think they do best when it's actually not a mist sort of humidity, but a humidity that comes from a greenhouse or a cloche. Any of those would work really well. I will update you guys on my Instagram about this leaf. I'll have it on the screen here and I'll leave it down below for you guys. Next up we have the Collegia Orbifold. This plant really gives me life. I love the round shape of these leaves, but I really do love the shape of these leaves. Eventually, once the plant matures and grows larger, these leaves can honestly become the size of dinner plates, and that's what they look like because they're round in shape. This one seems to be a relatively quick grower, and I haven't had too many issues keeping it in a 50% humidity situation. So if you could maintain that, you can maintain this plant, and I totally would suggest it for its adorable cuteness. That's it. Next up on the list of plants you didn't know you needed is the Philodendron Burle Marx, but this is the variegated version. I know that the variegated billy-tie is actually, I should pronounce it properly, it's the Biliatia. I learned that recently. So that plant is in high demand right now, and I think that this one is a really close relative basically of that Philodendron Biliatia. So if you don't want to spend over $100 on one of those dudes, maybe this dude will satisfy you. Definitely has satisfied me. Of course, I'm still dreaming of a variegated Biliatia, but these leaves These leaves are making me very happy. This one doesn't break the bank. It's definitely not cheap. Everyone has a different definition of what's cheap, but if you are aware of variegated plants and how much they cost, this one is definitely less expensive than most. So yeah, to fulfill your variegated needs, check out the variegated Burle Marx. So we're on to the second last plant here. This plant you might actually know you need, but this is the Zizi plant. Honestly, I don't think I've had a plant that has given me more love than this Zizi plant. I give it almost no light and no humidity, I mean low humidity, and I've only had it for about 2 months. And you can see all of that light green is new growth. I swear someone told me that Zizi plants were slow growing, and I don't believe you. You're a liar. This plant and my mom's 2 Zizi plants have been growing like weeds. So if you want a plant that is fast growing, fills up a corner, and looks this beautiful, you gotta get yourself a Zizi plant. You can ignore this plant too. It honestly needs to be watered maybe every 2 weeks when the soil is dry. But this plant asks nothing from me and gives me so much. I think I'm a Zizi spokesperson or something. Every time my mom sees one and she's like, should I get it? I'm like, yes. So the last plant is a really special one that you guys haven't seen yet on this channel. This is the Monstera Dubia. I got this plant about a week ago. And since then, it's put out its newest leaf that you can see at the top there. And there's a brand new one that's about to unfurl. I'm not sure what you guys can see there or what you cannot see, but I'll try to adjust the camera to show you guys exactly what's going on. So with that being said, basically it's a very quick growing plant so far, and I've been giving it about 50% humidity, and it's been really doing great. I have also kind of created a little thing for myself now. I'm obsessed with shingling plants. I mean, how could you not? This is so cool. I think that it's I just about whacked myself in the face with this board. I know I'm going to have to readjust this string or get a taller board soon, because this thing is growing like a weed and I don't think that it's going to last on this board all summer long. If you guys haven't seen this plant before, I will show you guys close up. It has the most spectacular silver in its leaves, more than any plant that I have. So I know you guys can see the color, but I'm really hoping that the shininess of these leaves is coming across. I will say that the newest leaf came in kind of wonky, but that was because they didn't have this plant pinned up properly at the nursery. I don't blame them. It was pinned up about this far, maybe this far, and considering how quickly this grows, I can completely understand why that happened. It probably got a little bit neglected. It's a huge nursery, so, and yes, I found this at a random nursery. I know that these plants are a little bit more difficult to find, so again, I'm not telling you, you need this plant or you're not cool. That's not the point of this video at all. I just want to show you guys some of the plants that I have been loving and that I really think if you can find and if you want to spend your money on them, that you would really enjoy them. I know that this guy is one that I've really been enjoying, especially just looking at it. I will keep you updated on my Instagram about this plant if you are interested. There will be weekly updates if there are new leaves coming out, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so I think that covers the 10 plants that you didn't know you needed. Again, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody watching. I so appreciate you guys. We are really getting close to reaching my goal. We are closer than ever. I would love to reach 500 subscribers by the end of May. Let me know down in the comments, guys, which plant from this video was your favorite. With that being said, thank you guys so much and have a great day.